What's up, everybody? Jeff Bernard here, and today we're going to go into the chat playground in Azure AI Foundry. So, in prior videos, we started going through what AI Foundry is, some setup and deployment of a model, and now we're going to go have some fun in the chat playground. So, let's go take a look. This is our landing point, which will be basically our overview of all of the resources within a project. To navigate to the chat playground, you're going to go to Playgrounds. And then we immediately are met with a few options. And one of the cool options is this code view. So when the code view is basically your endpoint and then the languages that you can integrate this into your apps, right? So if you're doing something in Python, C#, curl, Java, Go, JavaScript, or just the JSON body that you're going to, format here in a second. We'll show you how to do that. And then you're going to use that in your body for the API call, the REST API call to this endpoint. So this is a way to be able to quickly get up and running with being able to integrate this. You could also launch this code type in VS Code, which again is even faster. Okay, so we land here in the main window, and then you have this next option would be your model deployments. So you could actually deploy another model from here to test, or you can use the one that we set up in a prior video, which is GPT-5 Nano. Here is going to be your system prompt. So this is sort of telling the model what it is and what it does. So if you're building a document, a RAG-bot, you'll be able to designate, what it is there, what it's doing, who it is, its persona, right? To ground it in some of that context. You could also use this to generate a system prompt, which is fairly interesting because if you think about it, prompts matter a lot. And so having a system generated prompt is pretty meta in the sense that you're generating a prompt to write a prompt. It's pretty interesting. So we're able to reset that there. And then once you change it, you're able to apply it right here. We have some more options. We have system messages. So here you're able to avoid harmful content, etc., copyright infringements, avoid jailbreaks. This all comes at the cost of tokens being entered with your API call. So you have to think about that if you're doing long prompts. And you also have examples. So you can set some examples up, your system and then assistant. So it just gives it more context, right? To be able to add those items in there. You can add some variables here to be able to call. So if you're inserting this from, if you're making an API call from another program, and you want to add in company name as variable, username as variable, you can do that all here to set it up. And so we can delete that option, and then we have max completion tokens, which enables you to be able to designate the output so that you're not consuming a ton of tokens there. And then reasoning effort, and this is pretty important because if you're just doing something like a text parser and then reformatting with some structured output, you're not going to want high reasoning effort because it's going to really slow things down, and you're going to want minimal, medium to low. Now, one of the things here is it's going to, if you're building something like a chatbot, you might want longer responses and you might want more effort put into the reasoning, but that's where we're going to designate it with these options. Detailed summary, this gives you the ability to have a lot of detail or not a lot of detail, pretty self-explanatory, but each one of these options has a little hover, information icon to be able to go and see what's going on there. You have your sample prompts here, and you're able to kind of, get it to produce something if you're very new to this. And then you can upload a picture here or something. You can't upload documents here. You'll have to do that in the agent module, which we'll go over in another video. You got clear chat. You got chat capabilities. So this enables you to do speech to text. You do have to set up some resources. So you can say here and then set up a speech resource, in if you have one set up, but you'll have to do that separately. And so let's just give it, you're a data analysis helper that helps people find information. Not a great prompt, admittedly. But let's see if we can come up with something better. And then it'll fire that off and hopefully come back with something a little more detailed. And as we can see, this is much more descriptive. This is kind of what you're going to want. And you can load these in programmatically as well. You know, you can really get super detailed. And this is where the secret sauce would be if you're building a product on AI Foundry. It's actually really neat. It gives you everything like you need it, right? Pretty cool. So you can continue to iterate through that, and then you're going to keep it saved, and then we're going to go to and ask it who you are. Who are you? Okay, so it's going to go, it's going to think, and I want you to notice something here. It says high reasoning effort, right? So this is going to take a little bit of time versus something that we're going to test in a second, which will be like some structured output. So it took like a pretty long time to come back with this, and we can see that, okay, now let's do minimal effort. And let's see the response time difference. Let's say, who are you? Okay. And you'll see immediately it's given back to answer. So you're talking reasoning, right? But at the cost of time, and then a few seconds, you roughly get the same thing without needing to wait. Pretty interesting. So now we're going to do a prompt for some data formatting. I have some data formatted in pipe delineation, and say we want to transform this into JSON, right? Say okay, and again, all right, let's use the system prompt. You're a text to JSON formatter that outputs key value JSON in a object. All right, let's see. Okay, dire task. It's pretty aggressive. Okay, now we have some information there. So let's see how we can amend this by adding this pipe delineated data. And then we should get structured output, but we probably are going to want to important only respond in JSON format. Okay, let's see what we got. There we go. So as you can see, structured output. So text in, structure out. Even say we wanted just to like merge all this together, right? Okay, let's merge all this together. Take out all the spacing, which will be interesting. Just make it one string of data. Bear with me. Okay. And all right, let's see what we get. All right, quite literally the same thing. So as you can see, this sort of handles the formatting for you. So if you have some abstract documents, you need them structured. We just built basically an output structure. And what I found is that while this might, you know, at one time this probably drifted, it doesn't really drift anymore, which is really nice. And I'm sure the longer the document is, it may, but, you know, this is not. So pretty interesting. If you need any help developing anything, just bounce anything off of anybody, please reach out. You can look in the description and contact us at the link in the description, and like and subscribe for more of this information so that you can develop really cool AI stuff. We'll talk to you later.